So now, while you're thinking about your earliest memory and when your car started rolling down the road, I want to talk a little bit about when it stops. For some, after life, your soul is reunited with its creator, and for others, life ends in the same way as before. So in both, the car that provides the journey, it's gone. And the only thing that's left are the memories of your journey and the other people who knew who you were. So people who shared in your journey carry the profound weight of your loss, and your contributions to their lives, their thoughts, their experiences, are all that's left of who you were. The car is gone, but the path that it wore lives on in others' memories. So we mourn the loss, and we ceremonialize their life in cultural rituals to pay respect to who they were, right? And we also want to share how these people impacted our lives. Spiritual and therapeutic rituals allow us to deal with the emotional burden of loss, and the ability to kneel and pray towards the preservation of their memory allows us to stay connected to somebody who's now gone forever. So my brother died when I was only 6 years old. It's a memory that I can't forget, and I don't really want to. And his gravestone, it's located in Palatine, where I grew up. And it's about a 3-hour flight. I live in Denver, Colorado, and his memorial sits empty and lonely most of the time. And this is kind of a loneliness that I wish that I could purge. But when I can get out there, I'll place a beer on top of his tombstone, and I'll crack one open for myself and sit there cross-legged and have a conversation with somebody who I know is not really there anymore. And I do wish that his journey could continue alongside me. I wonder about what the conversations him and I might have had when we grew up together. But unfortunately, I was only 6 years old when he died. But I appreciate those few opportunities. And his grave is there for me and my parents to heal. But it's not there for him. And this is where I start to think. I start to ponder. The needs of the living and our ability to heal, our ability to pray, versus our legal system. We've built this elaborate framework that legally protects the wishes of people who no longer exist, instead of protecting the wishes of those who are actually still alive. So, for example, consider this. If a deceased person specifies a burial in their will, but a family member wants to relocate their remains for practical reasons, maybe they, like myself, moved across the country, maybe they can't afford to put them in the ground where they requested. And despite these roadblocks or requests, the law typically sides with the dead person's preferences. Court orders, permits, legal battles. The system protects the wishes of people that can no longer be experienced by them because they're gone. But, don't misunderstand me. There is a very therapeutic value in honoring what somebody wanted in their life. Following their final wishes can be a part of the healing process, but from a purely legal standpoint, we're enforcing autonomous decisions of people whose consciousness is no longer there. It no longer exists. So, and why is that?
I love you, Molly. I've always loved you.
Ditto.
It's amazing, Molly. The love inside, you take it with you.
And I'll give you my perspective, but I want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I believe that the purpose behind the legal framework is built upon a moral foundation, one that's highly rooted in religious doctrine, and one that recognizes in death a need to protect the soul of the dead. And you don't need to be religious to appreciate this. We actually celebrate the dead every year when we hand out candy to those who just started their journey, the young kids in their costumes. And in China, they burn ghost money, and they leave food offerings to create certain wealth for their lost loved ones. Haunted houses and horror movies draw on our instincts to protect the interests of the dead. Be good or else. The dead haunt us in our dreams, and they seem to impact our waking hours as we could swear we were visited by them. It's creepy. Oh, you're still here. Well, why don't you hit that like button and subscribe while you're at it? It goes a long way, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.